How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now we are back for another week and it's been a very eventful weekend. Of course, there is no football, no sport at all, but there's been a lot going on in the news. Now today we're going to be focusing on the Premier League and the fact that they are in denial about the coronavirus. There's also two good stories. The first one is Toby Alderweireld and a brilliant gesture from him, and also Stephen Naismith as he agrees to take a 50% wage cut.
I represent my fucking self.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right. So the first place we're going to start is the Premier League, and that's because the Premier League is in denial about the coronavirus outbreak, and that's according to Oliver Holt and Henry Winter. And they're pretty scathing in what they said on yesterday's Sunday supplement. And I actually have to agree with them. And, you know, it's not every day that I agree with journalists, but on this matter, I do. Our leagues are still in a little bit of denial about what is going on. The possible return dates are almost like singing to keep our spirits up. But I think that the general public find that kind of insulting, says the Mail on Sunday's Oliver Holt. Football is still in denial over the coronavirus pandemic, and plans to complete the season by June the 30th are insulting to the general public. That was Oliver Holt's frank assessment of the clamour in football to end the 2019-20 season at a time when the UK and its health service are bracing for the full force of the coronavirus pandemic. Our leagues and football in general is still in a little bit of denial about what is going on. Holt, who is the chief sports writer at the Mail on Sunday, told the Sunday supplement, "All the best medical advice suggests that we are going to see an explosion of these cases and the agonies that is going to bring. So to talk about players reporting back for training around that time is absurd. Footballers don't exist in a vacuum. They are humans too. They have families and older relatives. They need to be safe. We think they are immune from things because of money and everything else, but they have the same concerns as the rest of us. There is an element of people trying to keep up the morale here, but in reality, these ideas of playing behind closed doors in a few weeks' time are not going to happen. The time frames we are looking at are several months until there is a chance of football coming back." He also went on to add that when football does come back, there will be a great outpouring of relief. But in the meantime, people are looking at the bigger picture and they are realising quite what society is facing. The possible return dates are almost like singing to keep our spirits up. But I think the general public find that kind of insulting. People's minds, even those who view and love the sport as an escape, are not on football. They don't want to think about football coming back yet. This is moving so fast, we're getting to grips with and realising we are at the beginning of this, not anywhere near the end, and things are going to get worse. Pretty soon football is going to have to stop giving these dates and accept that this is going to be a long hiatus. So yeah, it's wishful thinking, and Henry Winter, who of course is the chief football writer at the Times, is saying that we're looking around about an October return. And that is at best. He's cast a massive doubt over everything and says, look, forget June the 30th. All right, the Premier League saying about the end of April is just a joke. But even UEFA and that saying the end of June, forget it. He goes on to say that there has been a briefing or suggestion that they were going to try and get the Premier League up and running by June the 1st so that they could then finish it, have a short break and then get going into the new season. He added that that simply is not going to happen. A colleague I know at the NHS has said it is wishful thinking for football to even consider playing before the middle of October. The Prime Minister has said we are 2 or 3 weeks behind Italy, who had 800 deaths on Saturday. We are staring into an absolutely horrific situation. I admire what football authorities are trying to do by trying to get this season completed. They are right to be doing that. But the idea that football can go back by the end of June is so ambitious. You cannot put a date on this. What football has to focus on now is making sure the NHS gets all the support it needs. The idea of playing games behind closed doors when all emergency crews are going to be needed by an overwhelmed NHS is wrong. You cannot have an ambulance waiting outside a football ground in case someone breaks their leg when the NHS are dealing with a crisis. We shouldn't be thinking about kicking a ball again. It will happen, life will return to normal, but it could be easily 6 to 9 months. Pretty straightforward and pretty hard hitting and pretty, evident that we're not going to get any football anytime soon. And we all love it. Don't get me wrong, we all do. I love it. I miss going to games. You know, I'm looking at yesterday and it was Mother's Day and everyone's talking about that. And yes, you spend time with your mum and your flowers and all these things that you do. But at the same time, I was thinking to myself, we should be playing Sheffield United. I should be up at Bramall Lane watching Arsenal in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. We love football. But right now, there is more important things in life than football. Trust me. And I don't care if we have to wait 6 or 9 months. You know, our health, our parents' health, you know, everybody's health, our children. Just, it doesn't even bear thinking how many people are going to lose their lives over the coming months because it's going to get worse. A hell of a lot worse. And football should be the last of our priorities. You know, it should be the least of our worries. Let's, focus on ourselves, our families, and get our health right. And let's all try and beat this together. It's as simple as that, And the first place we can start is by staying at home. You've seen everything now. And over the course of the weekend, people were carrying on like it was a bank holiday. Stay home, man. Do what you're told. Because the whole country is going to go in lockdown soon. And the reason why it's going to go in lockdown is because they're dickheads that are out there just carrying on like there's nothing. What happened to the self-isolation? Keeping a distance? You're a bunch of fucking idiots, seriously. And when the country goes into full lockdown, you're going to be the ones that sit there and go, why? Oh, we've got to go in full lockdown. Look what's happened now. Oh, well, it's because of brain dead idiots like you why it's going to be locked down in the first place. Fools. Seriously, man. Anyway, let's try and get into a little bit of better news, shall we say. And Tottenham's Toby Alderweireld, brilliant gesture from him. And that he is going to be supplying a load of tablets like, iPads and whatnot to hospitals so that the sick can stay in contact with their families. And I think this is an absolutely superb gesture. And I don't care that he plays for Spurs. Times like this, it's not about, rivalries or anything like that. It's, about humanity and about helping those in need. And we're all seeing the reports and the stories from Italy. And one of the most chilling lines that I saw was that people are dying alone. People have nothing. And the reason for that is because if you've got the infection, you've got the virus and, you're in isolation in hospital, nobody can visit you. Your parents, your wife, your girlfriend, children, whoever it may be, nobody can come and visit you. And people are dying in hospital on their own. There's people in hospital that are not at that level where they're going to die, but they're just sat there in hospital and they've got no way of contacting anyone. Some people haven't got the means. Some people haven't got mobile phones and, those luxuries that we all take for granted. So Toby Alderweireld is going to be supplying hospitals, with the means. And he went on to say that in the next days and weeks, I'm trying to get those tablets to places where they can help. I hope anyone that can spare or give or do something to help a little bit to the people in the world in need. To see families, friends, because it will help a lot. We stay strong together. And it's as simple as that. And just like I was saying, it's not about rivalries and that he plays for Tottenham. We're all as one in this. All right. And we stay strong together. Rivalries will resume when football resumes. But right now, there's no rivalry. It's as simple as that. Next piece of news involves Hearts captain Steven Naismith, and he's the first player to accept a 50% wage cut and vows to stay at the club. Hearts captain Steven Naismith has agreed to take a 50% wage cut to help the club during the coronavirus pandemic. Owner Anne Budge asked everyone at the Scottish Premier's bottom team to take a 50% wage cut in order to safeguard the club's future. It was confirmed on Friday that manager Daniel Stendel has waived his wage entirely after the club requested players and staff to take a pay cut. You know what, hats off to him first and foremost. Completely wavering his wage and everything else. Naismith has now become the first player to announce that he will take a wage cut and also vowed to remain with the club regardless of what league they are playing in next season. The 33-year-old said, "Like my teammates, I've been thinking a lot about the request from Hearts to reduce our wages by 50% to help the club and protect as many jobs as possible during this uncertain period. I have discussed it at great length with my family. The current circumstances put everyone in a very difficult position, but this isn't a problem of Hearts making. My family and I feel that through a long career, football has been very good to us. Therefore, I personally feel that I can and should accept the 50% reduction in wages." And do you know what? Fair play. And it's very easy to sit there and say these are footballers, they're millionaires, they won't miss it. They don't need to do it. But one of the reasons why he's doing it is to protect the club's future. You know, after he's finished playing and he's not even at Hearts, it's for future generations, for the club to exist, for people that work within the club, you know, that are scared that they're going to lose their jobs and they don't know where, you know, their next wage is. Fair play. Fair play. And I'd like to see some more of that, most definitely, because it's nice to see some good stories, you know, with everything that's going on in the world right now. So there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. Some varying news in there, a couple of nice stories. But of course, everything is dominated by the coronavirus outbreak and everything else. And it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better, that's for sure. But yeah, listen, I will be back tomorrow with another daily news. If you're new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you smash a like on this video. And also leave them comments and let me know what you feel about today's stories. So until tomorrow, I'll see you lot soon. I'm out of here.